Hey, my name is Alex Braza, and we're going to talk about coach-player relationships within social and task cohesion. So the first thing I want to talk about is task cohesion. It's the degree to which members of a group work together to achieve common goals. This is especially important in athletics, especially even more important in baseball. It's a very team-oriented sport. It's very team-driven, so we really want to harp on to get everybody with a common task. And it's the degree to which members of a group work together. So everybody needs to know their role. They need to know what they got to do to make sure that the group's going to be successful. This is important in all types of athletics too, not just baseball. It's also important in everything you do. If you're on a task in a business setting or in a volunteer setting, it's good if you guys have good task cohesion. You're more successful if it's a higher level of cohesion. Next thing is social cohesion. Social cohesion is defined as a cohesive society that works toward the well-being of all of its members. This really means we don't want to be exclusive, don't want to single people out. We want everybody to be socially together so that the cohesiveness is as high as it ever could be, and then we work towards our goal even more. Teams that have high social are usually have high social cohesion are usually most successful at any type of sport. But in baseball, when there's 25 guys on a roster, 30 guys on a roster, and 9 guys playing different positions, we really want that social cohesion to be high, especially off the field and on the field. We want our second baseman and our left fielder being friends. We want pitchers and hitters being friends. We don't want just strictly pitchers versus hitters. That's where teams get into trouble sometimes. So, to touch on more about it in baseball, we really have 4 things that we go by. Team cohesion defines team success. You win in the locker room, and then the player relationship, and the coach-player relationship. Team cohesion defines team success. There has been so many teams in the past that have so much talent, but they just aren't successful at all. And people always wonder, wow, how can this team be so bad if they have so much talent? It's because they're not cohesive. If you're not cohesive, it's going to be very difficult for you to be successful and very difficult for you to win. You have to be cohesive for teams to do well. You win in the locker room. If we always hear about this, oh, this major league team, their clubhouse is a mess, their locker room is a mess. If people are not doing the right thing in the locker room, talking about people's back, and the locker room is a bad place to be, you can't flip the switch, and as soon as you get on the field, be good to go. Nope, it starts in the locker room. If you guys are good in the locker room, you're good off the field, good on the field. Locker room is the point of everything. Now, the player-to-player relationship has to be good. You can't have players that hate each other and then, oh, now it's time to play baseball. We like each other. No, we want you guys to people to like each other throughout the entire time. Might not agree with everything you do, but on the field, you want to have the same thing. Off the field, you guys want to be striving towards the same goal. And a coach-player relationships are the most important things in being successful. Coach and players have to be on the same page. They have to have the same goals. They can't be out for each other. They have to respect each other in their own ways. And if they do that, the cohesion will be high. Everything will be successful. Player cohesion. I think player cohesion is huge in terms of if they have task cohesion. Players can have the goals. It's going to be very successful, easy for them to then motivate each other, and then they'll be successful. Players can improve their cohesiveness by doing like team activities. They go team dinners, team lunches. Teams go to movies together. Teams do all this. They go dinner on the road. They're always together, especially when they get a little free time on a trip, the beach, something like that. They're always together. They're hanging out. It's going to be good. They go to class together, study together. In the major leagues, they're always together on these road trips, and they're going on vacations together. Stuff like that really helps. Teamwork makes the dream work. If you got every team is gonna have some type of goal towards the end of the season, or for a career, and if you don't do the stuff that makes the team successful, the dream's never gonna happen. So they go hand in hand. Everything is intertwined. So if you're doing the right thing, hopefully that'll lead to more success. Coach-player relationship. Building and maintaining a relationship is the most important thing when we talk about coaching and players. The relationship has to be growing every day and every time you talk to somebody, every time you meet someone, just goes on and on and on. From the first time you meet somebody till 3 years down the road, you know even better. You want that relationship to be getting better. And if you guys are on the same page, then the coaches, it's a lot easier for them to speak to their players and what they want. They know what gets each player, which ticks each player, because certain things not going to get player A to do what he wants, and certain things not going to get player B. You got to know your players, you got to know your coaches, you got to know the way you can speak to them, and the way to motivate them. Knowing your role is huge. If you think team's going to be successful, there's no way they're going to have 9 superstars. They're going to have players that do the grind work, but then there's players that are superstars. So everybody's got to know their role, but everybody's important. Everybody has something that's going to make the team go well. Communication is so important Anything you do, you gotta be able to speak. You can't hide anything back. You gotta have that open door policy to your players or your coaches. You gotta be able to talk about everything. Anything that makes you go, you'd be able to talk about. If something happens that you want to speak about that wasn't good, you shouldn't feel good. Shouldn't feel guilty about it either. You should be speaking, 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 so you know what fits each other best. Ways to improve cohesion, team building. One day, a couple weeks of practice, we had a really good day of practice. We played football instead, and the team loved it, and they became closer. And you see who's who in those situations. Team building can go a very long way. Establishing and identifying a mission, setting team goals. All those are kind of intertwined. If you establish the identity of what kind of team you're going to be, who does what, who's gonna be this guy, who's gonna be that guy, and you're all on that mission to get to the goal, you can be very successful. Especially with setting the team goals. Everybody should have the same goals for the team from day one to the last day. Everybody should be striving towards that goal. We shouldn't have people say, "Oh, I want to win Player of the Week" or "I want to be MVP." Everybody should be on a team and just want the team to be successful first. There's some just examples of good and bad cohesion. Both teams on the left, the Royals and the Red Sox, in 2013 and 15, both won the World Series. There's more talented teams, both of them, but they had team chemistry was off the charts. They were cohesive. Everybody had the same goals. They all wanted to win more than anything. They all had their own catchphrases. They had stuff in the dugouts. It's all that camaraderie, and that just took them to the edge. And the two teams who were very talented, 2011 Red Sox out of the 15 Nationals, they had awful team chemistry. That people fighting each other, people getting drunk during the game, stuff like that. So the talent can't rise above that. So their team chemistry really, really, really set them back. They had great players in terms of on the field, but off the field in the lockers, that they just couldn't get it done because their team chemistry and cohesiveness wasn't there. So finally, player and coach relationship is key to success. If that relationship is not good, or players don't trust their coaches, they think they're out to get them. They say, "Oh, he hates me. We're not winning because of him." Or player or coach demeans their players. Can't be successful. Everybody be on the same page, working towards the same goal, knowing each other as people and then as players. And finally, teams need to be cohesive both on the field and off to be successful. Everything you do as a team needs to work together to make yourself successful. You have to be successful on the field, off the field, the classroom, and in professional baseball, going home, getting into routine, doing anything. So teams need to be driven on and off the field. They have to have good social cohesion, task cohesion, and the relationships need to be maintained and developing every day. And those usually lead to successful teams. Thank you.